Yo, what's going on? My name is Ruslan, and I'm so happy you're here to check out part 2 of my interview with Foggieraw. Now, this is a part of a podcast series that we're doing on Patreon. So some of you guys are asking, yo, drop the full interview, Check it out. Turn the bell notification on, make sure you're subscribed. But if you want to see the full interview right now, consider joining and becoming a patron and support this channel, support everything King Stream is doing, and to get the content early, to get the content in full so you don't have to wait and be staggered. And this interview is probably gonna challenge you regardless on where you fall on the spectrum. Some things I say in this video will probably challenge you. And here's the deal, we're not talking about absolutes. We're not talking about necessarily black and white, right and wrong. We're talking about culture. We're talking about things that are a bit outside of the box. And so keep it cordial in the comments section, please. If you're talking wild, if you're being disrespectful, if you're just dropping Bible verses with no context, odds are I'm gonna go through, I'm gonna clean it up. So keep it cordial. Also, if you are not a disciple of Jesus, a lot of what we're talking about doesn't really apply to you. We're super glad that you're here. Enjoy this discussion. But this is kind of more of an internal discussion on what is proper conduct for those who identify as disciples of Jesus in music and culture and all that good stuff. So sit back, enjoy. If you want to see the full interview, make sure you turn your notification on. But more importantly, man, go check out that Patreon you're playing yourself if you're not on Patreon yet. Shout out to the patrons. Enjoy. Peace. I would ask you though, John Keith, what if that very same liberty that you think can cause somebody to dismiss your witness?
Yeah, to
ruin your witness. What if that same liberty in a certain context was the actual thing that was giving you credibility with non-believers, right? So I think for you, and this is kind of where I want to land on, we'll just get to it. I think you using the N-word gives you an edge and a human aspect that allows you to speak to a demographic of people that maybe you or I wouldn't be able to speak to. And I think that's an advantage. And I just be looking at some of the cats that be like, you be reposting on your Insta story, like not John Keith fans, like not like Andy Mineo fans. You know what I'm saying? Like no disrespect to Andy Mineo or KB or anybody, like different audiences. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's dope. Like I think there's room for that. So like in your context, like does it hurt someone's?
I think that there's two different ways it could go. I mean, like on one side of things, I don't think I have to convince anybody that I'm human.
Yeah, I'm not saying you have to do it. I'm just saying. I know, but I'm just saying in his context.
Yeah.
It seems to be working.
Yeah. It can work as like a like somebody's gonna listen to your music and be like, yo, this is something I'm more used to. Like, this isn't corny. Like, this isn't, you know what I'm saying? Where someone might listen to my music and be like, that's corny. I don't rock with that. You know what I'm saying? Like, what you have in your music might be the thing that connects you to that person easier, is what I'm saying. But I think that it's because it's like, I want to say two different audiences, you know what I'm saying? But at the same time.
But my thing, I just want to cut in, like, I just feel like nobody's really wrong. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like I feel like, okay, you gonna have like your certain mindset and mission that you've been given from God. Like, okay, this is how I gotta attack. I feel like I gotta be like, I gotta not say certain things like this because to me this will ruin my witness. And in me, I just feel like, well, that's not really gonna ruin my witness. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like I don't really feel like there's like a clash. There's a clash because of like, you know, we're human, so we get in the way, like our minds. We always want to, you know, fix everything to line up with us. But I just feel like everybody doing their thing. Like
I'm with you, and I would say everybody's doing their thing. I don't think anybody's corny. Like I think we just need to stop. Like, because the more we keep saying like Christian rap or Christian hip hop's corny, the more we give power to that thought. And I think we got to stop giving power to that thought. I don't think what you do is corny in the least bit. I don't think what you do is corny.
Me neither.
I don't think any of us are corny. I think how I look at it is just say like in the grand scheme of God grabbing somebody's heart and moving them towards loving him and filling themselves with content that is reflective of that, right? So let's just say we want them, this is a hypothetical, I'm not saying this is what we want, but just follow me. We want them to land in a place where they love worship and they love praise music and they love hearing the word of God, they love hearing sermons, right? That's where we want to get them to, right? And I think it's just like if you're trying to eat right, like if I'm trying to eat right, like I can't go from like cereal, Lucky Charms, sugary food to like eggs with no seasoning overnight. It's just not gonna happen.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I feel like to some degree, if we're trying to get him to this direction, like Foggy might be like that oatmeal that got the flavor to it and got the sugar to it, and it's an easier transition. You know what I'm saying? Like it's still. Oh, I was listening to this.
That's what I mean.
I was listening to Migos. I was listening to just like complete debauchery. But this is like, okay, this is an on ramp to where we want them to be. And I would say, John Keith, maybe you're like more so of like, yo, this is like when my wife makes like sweet potatoes and scrambled eggs and like it's still good, but some people don't have the palate just yet.
Yeah.
Neither of it is corny. Neither of it is whack. Neither of it, like, it's all cool. It's all good. And I love the oatmeal with the sugar and you know what I mean? Like the extra flavoring. Y'all know what I'm talking about, right? That pre-packets of oatmeal, right? And I love
instant oatmeal.
Instant oatmeal, yeah, the instant oatmeal, and I think there's space for everything, and I think it's dope. You know what I'm saying? So I don't think it's corny. I just think they're serving different purposes for where people are at.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I think the divisive part is when we stop understanding that we're doing similar things in a different way, that we're part of the same process.
But that's everybody. That's everybody vibe, bro.
Well, that's why I want to have more of these conversations.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I think. Well, for one, Ruslan just called me sweet potatoes, and he called Foggy oatmeal.
Instant oatmeal.
with sugar in it. I don't know how I feel about that. But what I'm saying, I'm playing. No, what I'm saying is, I also think that a lot of Christians, and specifically, I don't know, am I allowed to say this? I feel like a lot of Christians and Christian hip hop fans, like, are real.
Say it, man. Legalistic.
Pharisees.
Oh, ooh, well, you didn't drop the Pharisee word on them. Okay.
I think a lot of people is the same people. If you take it back, that have looked at Jesus and been like,
yeah,
you sitting with who?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it is what it is. You know who you are. And I feel like, I don't know, like, I mean, like, that, I say that to say that I don't think that, like, I'm in agreement. Like, I don't think that what he does, or, I can't even think of anybody else, but, like, I don't think what you do is, like, wrong or ill intent or anything. Like, I don't think there's any really, negative part about it, especially because I know that you know Jesus, and if it was, like, you'd be convicted. Like, I would, you know what I'm saying? Like, you'd be miserable. You know what I'm saying? Like, I believe that. So, I mean,
it's like that verse in Corinthians, like, there's different parts of the body. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But it's all the same body, and one part shouldn't say to the other part. You know what I mean? Like, exactly. I think it's like that. Foggy, you want to add anything to that thought?
Yeah, I just feel like, all you self-righteous people, y'all gotta chill. Because, I mean, like, and I'm joking, but I'm serious. Because it's like, I just be seeing, like, y'all just be so mad. Like, all right, my thing is this, right? You got person A, he's preaching the gospel this way. Person B preaching the gospel this way. It's like, everybody's doing it. Like, why are you so mad?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Like, your music had no God reference.
You know what I'm saying? Like, everybody's just like, oh, I just feel like, oh, you're doing this. It's like, okay, then do something about it. Yeah. You do something about it. Don't worry about what I'm doing. Yeah. It's just like,
that's a fact. Okay.
Big man.
You stupid. Now, my position on this really doesn't matter because I'm white, but I do have a black son. He does
have a black son.
And, I've thought about, like, am I going to want Levi to use the N-word? Am I going to want
I'm actually really interested in that. How do you feel about Levi using the N-word one day?
I would prefer, well, one, when you start talking about your child being called that, it kind of changes it a little bit. You know what I'm saying?
Called that in what way?
Like if you were to come over and Levi was kicking it, and all of a sudden you called him a little N-word. Like, I'd be like, I
could definitely see myself doing something.
I would probably feel the way. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
I don't know how my wife will feel, but so if I'm being honest, like, I'll probably feel the way. However, I'm white. My opinion really doesn't matter. Like, that's like an in-house black people
conversation. I feel like it does because it's your son.
It matters because it's my son, and I would probably prefer that he not use the word. But I do understand that some people don't use it in a demeaning way. Like, people use it in an endearing way. So if he grows up and he's of age, and you know what I mean, he wants to use it in a way where they see it as different, like, I think that's on him. Just like if my wife doesn't, but just like if my wife was hanging out with all her girlfriends, and she got some friends that you know, ain't all the way sanctified, but they was like, oh, what's up, man?
Getting
you know what I'm saying? Like, that's my man. You know what I mean? Like I would be like, oh.
Yo, who you talking to, son? What's happening?
I would probably not prefer that they refer to my wife as the B word. However, that's but if it's a thing amongst her female friends, I don't really get a position on that, and I don't need to have a position and an opinion about every single thing. That's a whole nother concept of like white privilege that I think white people just want to own everything and have an opinion about everything. I don't need to. As a white father of a black son, I'll probably prefer that he not be called that until he's able to understand and really own the word and make that decision. I definitely wouldn't want that personified and projected on him like that. You know what I'm saying? But you choose to use the word in your private life and in your art. I don't have a problem with it. I jam out to it. I show my nephews the music, all that. You choose not to use the word. You're not using the word in your personal life. You definitely don't use it.
I slept up a few times tonight.
You don't use the word. You don't use the word in your music. And I show my nephews the music. Usually my nephew was playing him some new June.
He said, like, it's alright.
It's alright. He's trying to be cool. Just break that down once and for all. Like, liberty, like, express your heart behind it, because I'm tired of people asking me about it, and I'm just like, y'all need to ask him about it. But I don't think it's that big of a deal, and I still rock with his music. That's what I always reply to people. But I do get asked about it, like probably once or twice every 2 weeks. Like it comes up. Yeah.
Hey, how come Foggy says the N-word in his music? Is that a?
Well, it's more so like.
Christian, does he love Satan now?
That was so funny, right?
They don't say the N-word. They say like, why does he choose to use vulgarity? And I was like, well, vulgarity is like subjective to what's intended and the purpose behind it. Like he's not using it in a way to demean somebody. Like it's an endearing way, and the way he's saying it isn't as a curse. It's just like it's the thing he says. And I think he's actually very strategic with it. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not gonna speak for you. Break it down.
So I feel like first it's like this. It's like there's been endless beefs. Like, oh, I feel like you shouldn't, baptize people by sprinkling, and I feel like you shouldn't, like, whatever. It's like, I feel like we should just have enough perspective to be like, okay, am I gonna be the one who's gonna tell somebody, yo, you can't use this? Like, bro, people are just gonna use it. Yeah. So first of all, it's just like, don't try to just be in everybody's, you know what I'm saying?
You don't need to have an opinion on it.
You don't need to be in everybody's thing like that. Then I just feel like, when I was in school, I took anthropology, and we were just learning about like words and what words are. A word is just a sound, right? That means something else. So it's like, if it's like a group of two or whatever, it's like, okay, they decide what this sound means, and then that's all a word is. So if me and my boy,
you breaking down words, that's dope.
That's why I grew this out, just to come over here. But it's like,
drop some gems.
If me and my friend decide, okay, ooh-ah means, okay, go outside, then that means to us, ooh-ah just means, okay, we gotta go outside. So it's just like, okay, if we say the N-word means, okay, my friend, my brother, then that's just what it means to us. It's like, there is no, this is what this word means. It's like, oh, because let's say some white people said, oh, it meant something bad. Is that what it means forever? No, it's just, that's what it meant to them, and then this is what it means to us. So it's just like, stop tripping, man. It's all, everybody's having a good time. Everybody talking about God. Like, people just be tripping.
Chill.
I feel like, for me, there's a couple reasons why I'm choosing not to, or I'm trying not to say it. I've been doing pretty good, actually. Recently.
You have been doing. You've been doing really well. I commend you.
Because I was like, all right, I had a slip up. I had some slip ups tonight, Zach. Get off my back. So I got to a point where I didn't realize I was saying it. Like, we were somewhere, oh man, it was getting bad. It was getting bad to the point where, like, I didn't realize who I was calling that. To be honest with you, I've probably accidentally said that to Levi. It just, to keep it a buck, it's probably happened.
It broke my heart.
That's what I'm saying, because I didn't realize that I feel like that's a valid reason for me to stop saying it. I was like, I don't know who I'm saying this to anymore. That's how much I'm saying it.
Wow.
A. B. I got sick and tired of the I mean, you said, so I can.
Oh.
I'm just, you know what? All right, if you're gonna, we just neither of us gonna say it. How about that? But to be honest,
the whites made you stop saying it.
Nah, not even just. To be honest with you. To be honest with you, check this out. I've never
whites strike again.
Look, I've never had this conversation with a white person. Only Mexicans. I've only had that conversation with Mexican people.
The Mexicans.
Mexicans made me stop saying it. Like, but to be honest with you, I was like this. I was at a point where it didn't matter if you were white, black, Mexican, Chinese, or green. Yeah. I don't care. Oh. If you were calling me the N-word and I don't know you, you could be black. Yeah. You could be black and be like, hey, what's up? Yeah. I'm like,
totally different.
Don't call me that because we're not friends and you don't know me.
That's a fact.
So that's not my name, and we're not friends. Why are you calling me that? So, and to just avoid, so I mean, like, there's so many, you know what I'm saying? There's so many factors.
Hopefully you enjoyed part 2 of our interview with Foggieraw. If you want to see the full thing in its entirety, go partner with us on Patreon, on Play Us Up. There's all kinds of cool perks, and you get the content early and in full, and help keep making stuff like this happen. We got a whole bunch of ideas, but in the comments section, keep it cordial. Well, we want to know, what did you learn? What were you challenged by? And what kind of content do you want to see more of in these podcast interviews and the guests that I have on this channel? Thank you so much for watching. Appreciate y'all. Peace.